Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, I want you guys to go back in your time machine about July 20th, about July 23rd of this year. Do you guys remember what you were doing? We do. A lot of you were completely freaking out about the Sig P320 because allegations had broke that a US Air Force Airman in Wyoming had been killed when his P320 had accidentally discharged, striking him in the chest. It had many in the 2A community out with their torches and pitchforks ready to burn Sig Sauer to the ground. Now, to be fair, Sig Sauer didn't do themselves any favors either with their messaging, but shortly thereafter, the story began to change as to what took place on that Air Force base, and now the story has changed radically. The problem is nobody's given this story any more attention. We want to bring it back to the forefront because we think this is information that you need to know. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about, well, this sure changes the Sig Sauer narrative. Okay, America, we are talking about Sig Sauer yet again and their P320. Why is this? Well, because about the third week of July, a story had broke, a horrible story about a young US Air Force Airman who had been tragically killed through what was then claimed to be an unintentional discharge of his own service weapon. As it turns out, none of that happens to be true, and in fact, the cause of his death is the negligent and irresponsible handling of a handgun by another member of the United States Air Force. Now, just so you understand who the players are in this, there is Braden Lovin. Unfortunately, Mr. Lovin is the now deceased U.S. Air Force Airman. There's Marcus White Allen, who is going to be a big person of interest in this story, and then two other airmen, Sarbo Badesha and Matthew Rodriguez. Now, let us remember that after this incident occurred, the United States Air Force pulled the M17, M18 from service, and many other law enforcement agencies around the country followed suit. Why? They all believed that this death had been caused by an unintentional discharge of Mr. Lovin's own service weapon. But as it turns out, that's not what happened at all. On Saturday, November 1st, a story broke across multiple news outlets, which now states the following. Details about his death were released for the first time Friday, including that the alleged shooter, Marcus White Allen, had pointed the gun at Lovin's chest in a joking manner. White Allen, after the shooting, allegedly urged the other two surviving airmen to lie about what happened. Now, the other two U.S. Air Force Airmen, Mr. Badesha and Mr. Rodriguez, have now pled guilty to making false statements in an official investigation. Mr. Badesha is going to receive 30 days confinement. Mr. Rodriguez is going to receive 10 days confinement. Again, according to multiple news outlets, when it comes to Mr. Badesha and Mr. Rodriguez, they now claim the two reported hearing White Allen's gun go off, then seeing Lovin on the ground. White Allen allegedly told Badesha, "Here's the story. Tell them that I slammed my duty belt on the desk and it went off." White Allen allegedly told Rodriguez to tell emergency responders that White Allen's holster went off, according to the statement. And as you know, Mr. White Allen was facing allegations of involuntary manslaughter. It would appear that Mr. White Allen is in a lot of trouble, except guess what else the story broke? The story broke that Mr. White Allen himself is now deceased after they found him dead on the base on October 8th. An investigation as to the cause of the death is now pending. So I just want everyone to realize, especially some of you who are out there just trying to burn Sig to the ground over this incident that had occurred on a U.S. Air Force base. Yes, had a U.S. Air Force Airman accidentally been killed by his own service weapon, unintentionally discharging it when he merely set it down, that would be a very, very newsworthy story, and that would be of great concern about the integrity of the Sig P320. But I don't care whose firearm you have in your hands when you are operating it, such as the way that Mr. White Allen did, in a negligent, irresponsible manner, actually pointing the firearm at another human being, this is the exact result we can expect to happen when people act in such an idiotic fashion. Now, am I saying that this completely exonerates Sig Sauer and that the P320 has absolutely no issues with it at all? No, I'm not saying that at all. There's obviously some smoke around this firearm, which means there could be some fire somewhere. However, the biggest catalyst that got this story back to the forefront, and the biggest catalyst for which many people in the 2A sphere decided to suddenly jump on the bandwagon of let's burn Sig to the ground, we're all operating on a story now that has proven to be absolutely and completely false and actually operates on a set of facts entirely diametrically opposed to what we believed had actually occurred. So listen, we're going to go ahead and link up multiple news stories that broke this story down below in the description box so that you don't have to take our word for it. But America, I just want you to understand that when this incident first occurred, it was all over everywhere. It was on media, social media, everywhere. But now that the story has radically and diametrically changed, don't we believe that that too deserves the same publicity? Okay, listen, if you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information is down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video, you click on that link, you tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, that link is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching, and stay safe.